Welcome to My Life in Israel podcast, where I speak the truth with people about finding a solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict while combating anti-Semitism, anti-Israel, and anti-Zionist propaganda, and rant about Israeli politics and life in Israel. I also throw in some Judaism to spice things up. Okay, so I want to talk about this email conversation I had with the owner of a YouTube channel that I subscribe to, and it's all about the Mashiach, looking for the Mashiach, when will the Mashiach come, but he also recently has been doing these, random videos about recent events in Israel and his opinion and maybe what it means, I don't know. And so he did a video about what happened in Sheikh Jarrah, about the evictions, and he voiced his opinion that he thought that the Arabs, should not be evicted. And his reasoning was that the previous owners just left, and these new people came in, and apparently under abandonment concept, maybe he's thinking that the owner doesn't have the right to come back for some reason. And then he also voiced sympathy about, again, the poor Palestinians, they have no place to go, they're kicking them out, they would be homeless. And so when he voiced sympathy about that he's been, destitute before, so he understands that. And so the whole thing is a lie. It's not really what's going on. And so I gave him a thumbs down, but he doesn't allow comments, so I couldn't comment on it. And I just figured, okay, so he made this video shortly after, the riots started breaking out, and I didn't even know all the facts at that point, so but I knew that wasn't really what the case was, so I forgot about it. And then he did another video recently talking about the Mashiach and the rise of anti-Semitism around the world, and that's like a precursor to the Mashiach. And then he brought up Sheikh Jarrah again, how he says that it started, all this anti-Semitism started with a good cause, meaning Sheikh Jarrah and the evictions. And I was just like, okay, this is 3 weeks later. He should know the facts by now. And I'm thinking he doesn't know the facts. So I sent him an email, and I told him, I don't understand why you're voicing this opinion about the Sheikh Jarrah situation, because these are the facts. And I told him the facts that, these Arab families are disobeying a court order to pay rent to the rightful Jewish owner. And the reason why they're paying rent, they say, is because, we bought it from somebody else, but we don't have any paperwork, there's no proof. I don't believe it. They've used this excuse before on other occasions. It just flies in the face of all logic. This is the thing. If you live here in Israel, this is what the Arabs do. They literally just make up stuff. And the reason why they're doing it is because if they leave the home, where they're living, that means that they are giving it up to the Jews. And they can't allow the Jews to have sovereignty over Jerusalem. It's the whole systemic thing of why they claim victimhood. They perpetrate their own victimhood in order to get sympathy from the world, so that they can claim ownership and sovereignty of the land, and especially over Jerusalem. And so the Jews can't claim sovereignty over the land and Jerusalem. It's very simple. And I can't believe that this guy who is Jewish, and he's an Israeli citizen, and he wants to come back to Israel, he's planning to come back to Israel, and he loves Israel, and I can't understand why he's taking this position, other than he just doesn't know what he's talking about. And I tried to convey that to him, and he replied to me, like, not really replying directly to the situation. He just turned it around and avoided that and just said, well, I don't have any influence, meaning, nobody really sees this video. It doesn't really make a difference what he says, apparently, so he can not tell the truth, and that's okay. But other than that, he didn't, say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know all that information. I wish I did. If I knew that, then I wouldn't have said that in the video. But no, he didn't say that. He just kind of avoided that, and he said, it's the bigger picture, the anti-Semitism or whatever, and excuse me, all this is to bring about the Mashiach. And so, and then he said something like, ask Hashem directly if you like, and I'm like, why would I ask Hashem directly why you spoke your opinion that you did? Like, that's what I want to know. And so it really just got my goat, this dude on this channel. I feel like there's something wrong with him, that he didn't want to answer me directly, and I was really annoyed, and it got me thinking, like, maybe it's because I feel like, if you watch his videos, he seems to feel that he has some special connection to Hashem, and that I feel like Hashem, he's getting like some kind of messages or something, that he feels like he's connecting with Hashem on certain things. And maybe it's because he felt like, he got this from Hashem, that Hashem is telling him that Hashem would prefer that the Arabs stay in their place. And to me, that's just, okay, if you knew the facts, I don't think Hashem would be saying that. So you have to really consider who you think you're getting messages from. If this doesn't sound like something Hashem would agree to. Considering the Jews are his people, and by any stretch of any law in any country on this planet, the Arabs would be in the wrong. That's just the way law works, And what about the Jew owner? Oh, he's homeless. He doesn't have any place else to go. He has to be someplace else to go, and then he doesn't have the benefit of his own property, and he's not getting any income or any benefit from something that he owns. So how would Hashem think that would be okay? So it just, nothing makes sense. And this guy, I don't really agree with like most of what he says, but like, most of it's just out there kind of stuff. I mean, it's not like really fact-based, something that you can say this is wrong. It's mostly like, mystical kind of situations. So I'm like, okay, you do you. I don't agree with this, but whatever. But on this, it was like, these are the facts, and why aren't you wanting to deal with the facts? And so I feel like, some people just go a little overboard with this Mashiach thing. Like, they want Mashiach so bad, and they think that the rise of anti-Semitism means that the Mashiach is coming, and so maybe they want it. And you're Jewish, and that's just not accurate, because I want the Mashiach too, but this isn't the only way that it can happen. In the Torah, there's the blessings and the curses. We should be blessed to obey Torah and receive the Mashiach in holiness and cleanliness, and not having to be, at war or die over before the Mashiach comes. That's a whole nother situation that I could talk about, but this video is just about this guy and the Sheikh Jarrah thing that I emailed him about. So, I don't know. That's it.
Thanks for listening to My Life in Israel podcast. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for non-podcast videos. If you enjoyed the podcast, like, share, comment, and follow me on Spotify and other podcast apps so you never miss another episode. Support my work and support Israel by making a one-time or monthly donation or become a subscriber to get access to exclusive content. The links are in my profile and description. And stay tuned because I have a lot more to say. Am Israel High.